Yo, what is going on, guys? Got a video here today of conservative women roasting the 4B movement. Let's get right into the video.
Yes, you can get the book that started the 4B movement in South Korea in English. It's called Kim Ji-young, born 1982. Cho Nam-ju. It was translated to English in 2020 by Jamie Chang. And like I mentioned in my last video, this is a fictional book about a Korean everywoman talking about her experiences with sexism and misogyny from when she was.
So the 4B movement was created from a work of fiction. Women read a fictional book and said, we need to do something about this in the real world. Problems they do not actually go through. All right, then.
A little girl all the way to her having her first child and suffering from postpartum depression. Now, even though this is a fictional book, the author included so many sources cited of real-world data about the misogyny and sexism and the issues in South Korea. So this wasn't just like relatable. This is also scientifically researched, and she had the receipts. Okay, she is not joking. And it's not that long. It's a quick read, but as you can see, it has the citations on the bottom. I don't even think it's 200 pages. Let me check for you.
You can't just cite a source. You need to actually look at it and see if it is accurate. It is very easy to manipulate and screw data and statistics, especially with how it's worded, like 1 in 3 women experience men, blah, blah, blah. It's just not true.
It's about 163 pages. So this novella, this little bad boy right here, the power of literature that this book truly changed the game in South Korea. I read it myself. I highly recommend it.
The very moment a modern woman finds a man attractive, this whole 4B movement thing will be thrown out of the window completely. It's a nothing movement, but if they were to follow it to a T, the thing they complain and protest about wouldn't actually be an issue, ironically enough.
Now, I'm used to people calling me harsh and telling me that I'm mean and I'm not patient with women and I don't understand this, that, and the third. And this post isn't going to be any different from those other posts. I'm not even going to lie. Sometimes I just be telling the truth and y'all just don't like it. Y'all are not there yet. And that's not my problem. What I'm going to say is this. A lot of people who are screaming 4B, 4B, 4B movement, y'all don't really mean that. You're just saying that because you don't have a man at the moment. You're just saying that because you're frustrated right now, but you don't really mean it. A lot of you who are saying that you got your ex on speed dial still, you're going to be looking around trying to find the first guy that you think is cute. And the moment a viable option presents itself, you will fold like a folding chair at a family reunion.
Like I said, these women will never truly actually follow this, and even if they did, they're honestly just helping men to weed out the undesirable women anyway.
Times when I'm reading the comments on my videos, I know who those who really don't mean what they say are. I can pick you guys out because y'all will give the longest, most eloquent speeches in my comment section about how I'm giving up on men as I forge forward through my future and I am no longer looking back and worried about anything. And I just be like, okay, girl.
Women are really out here thinking this is a TV show putting on a hero's monologue. This is just a sign that people have no real purpose in life if they're portraying themselves like a martyr in a TikTok comment section.
But how do I know this? When I was at the height of my pick-me era, I remember I was sitting around with some of my friends and they were trying to talk some sense into me over some guys that I had been talking to at the moment. And I was like, you know what? I'm giving up on this guy and I'm not talking to him anymore because I am no longer going to allow him to treat me like shit. And when I was done giving my speech, I looked around and my friends were looking at me like this.
Even their friends know that they are full of it. For whatever reason, these women always go back to their ex-boyfriends, even if they believe them to be, oh, such a terrible person.
Because they knew me well enough to know I was full of shit. And sometimes when you are on the dating scene and you are frustrated because nothing is popping, you have to tell yourself things to make yourself feel better about what is going on. Tell yourself, well, I'm just too good for him and that's why he's not talking to me. Meanwhile, your life is in fucking shambles and you need a couple sessions of therapy. Your life is in ruins and you really do need to get your shit together. You don't need to be talking to anybody right now.
To the first part, this is what we call cope. Reality is often hard to face head on, and therapy can be useful, I guess, but honestly, if you're still going for like 4 years and nothing's changing, you're getting absolutely scammed. And it makes sense why. They make money if you are a permanent patient of theirs.
But we start to tell ourselves things to make ourselves feel better and deal with the fact that our phone is a little dry right now. We've been swiping left and swiping right. Nothing is popping. You don't have to say you're a part of a movement that you really don't deeply and passionately believe in.
This is the problem. Women feel empty and they are filling the void any way they can. And if they're a part of the 4B movement, they shouldn't be on dating apps in the first place. Not dating men is literally one of the 4B.
These women are talking about how they're not going to date men, sleep with men, procreate with men. And what are you going to do? Feminism is going to lead these women into dating each other.
This screams, no woman wants me, so I must talk ish about them to get them to pay attention to me. Well, you have our attention. And I wonder if he gets the irony of his video about how he calls the 4B movement misandry, but his whole video is just filled with misogyny. He's absolutely wrong, at least in regards to the American version of the movement, which is about taking our power back.
Personally, I don't really have an issue with the 4B movement. I think it's great that a lot of these women are so-called going out here and being celibate and things like this. Now, do I think they will stick to it? Absolutely not. But you know what? I enjoy watching the videos because I think it's very damn funny. And I also think these women should continue shaving their heads. That is also very funny to look at.
We don't hate men. I don't. I just think the world would be a better place if women held the same power as they did, meaning equal pay, equal treatment, equal chores, and not having to pay the pink tax.
The pay gap has literally been debunked for generations. It has been proven to not be true since I think like the 60s or 70s. And the pink tax is here because women buy products more than men buy men's products. If one isn't selling, the price goes down. This is called supply and demand, but these people will never understand this.
For far too long, we've let men hold all the power. Now it's our turn to stand up and take a stance. It's so funny to me that he says, if all women boycott men, then all we're going to have is each other. And what's wrong with that? I think being with a woman would be easier and less stressful than dating a man at this point. Anyways, I think his video is just rage bait. Who knows if he really believes what he's blabbing about? Because if you look at the rest of his videos, they have pretty low views.
There are literally videos with millions of views and likes of women wanting to poison their men, attack and assault them, and throw things at them. These are mainstream videos with mainstream support, all in the name of 4B.
So the thing that I'm constantly seeing on social media every day is people, men and women, saying that the 4B crashed, or it failed, or it's not working, or whatever. And I'm here to say, yes, it is. The only reason why this was a movement, I said this before, is because millions upon millions upon millions of women all around the world got on social media or whatever, and we realized that we were not the only ones going through a lot of the same stuff with males. Thus, it became a movement.
Going through the same stuff with a specific type of male. Everybody, including women, already knows that women like bad boys. 4B just exposed that women are just universally bad at picking men in the first place.
If our movement failed tomorrow or whatever, according to you guys, these men will still be dry peeing out here. There's still going to be a male loneliness epidemic. It's going to get worse. The attacks on women and stuff is going to get worse. These laws that go against women's rights are going to get worse. And the reason why these things are happening is because all these women all over the world are closing up shop.
I suppose I can't really say how it is in Korea. I have no idea. But in the Western side of the world, who's attacking women and how? Not legally in the government, the media, movies, society, etc. The only thing that they can point to is having to take accountability for their own actions, by the way. That is not anti-women.
And this is the part that y'all don't get. The 4B has worked, and it will continue to work for those of us who are in it.
4B won't work for women because most women want kids and a husband eventually. If the 4B people stay true to it, they will all grow old and childless forever because all of their eggs would be non-existent and their beliefs will go when they go, leaving the world to be a more conservative, leaning one in the end.
We're not being cheated on. We're not being lied to and gaslit. We sleep like babies at night. The women who ever had dating apps, I never had one, but for those of the women with a half a brain even who had dating apps, they deleted them shits. You know what I'm saying? We're not dealing with all the woes and the BS that comes with dealing with males and their BS, right? We're not dealing with it. Okay?
Cool. Enjoy being without a man. Nobody is complaining whatsoever. You are just helping men find more desirable women anyway. Like I said earlier in the video, I am in all support of the 4B movement, guys, to be honest. Do your thing, queens. You're doing fantastic.
Black women, do not participate in the 4B movement. If you want to be celibate for you, do it because of your own thoughts. Do not do it because society is telling you to do it. Because at the end of the day, we are not the reason those results look the way that they look. Everybody else let us down. We had each other's back. We'll say this though, you need to be saving all your money because we will be facing financial hardships. So if you can get out the country, I advise you to get out. If you can't, you need to save as much money as possible because these tariffs are going to kill us.
Not a fan of getting political on this channel, but to my knowledge, the economy in America is in absolute shambles. You have to practically get a down payment for a dozen eggs. And the president-elect for America was president before, and people praise him for the economy. I think you'll be fine.
I hope it was all worth it just for gas. Department of Education, eliminated. I hope it was all worth it. Now, a lot of people are not going to be able to go to college anymore. I hope it was all worth it.
Yeah, this woman is uneducated, and the comment about college, what are you on about? People are in so much debt because of college, their grandkids will probably inherit it. This is the case of women creating a boogeyman to scare other women to vote the way that they want.
Okay, if you want to know where I'm at, see, I haven't showered, brushed my teeth yet. I'm literally eating cookie dough.
I don't care where you're at. I don't care what you're eating. Just get to the point. You guys already know she is a Yapatron 3000 Model 1.
It's 8:40 a.m. Anyway, I've been thinking a lot about having children. As you all very well know, I'm a stepmom to two beautiful boys. I love them so much. They're incredible. All of this has made me think a lot about whether or not I should grow my family. Okay, I'm putting the cookie dough away before I stress eat. All for the 4B movement. Absolutely. Do not engage with, participate with, be a part of anything with men who do not believe in our rights. Duh.
Nah. You can't flip the switch like that. The 4B is strictly no men at all, even if they have the same beliefs as you. The 4B crowd are literally telling women to break up and divorce their men. Go on, queen, divorce your man and lead by example.
The more I think about it, if all of us decide, like, we're not having children, we're not doing that, then who is having children? The conservative people are having children. Which means they're just breeding more of them. No thanks. So I've decided that the best way to resist is to, in fact, hopefully, have a baby and raise them to be just as big of a pain in the ass as I am.
You want to raise a child so they can be as insufferable as you with a cartoonishly evil snicker. These are typically the people that are portrayed as the bad guys in entertainment media, and rightfully so.
This morning, my girlfriend woke up and told me about a real rabbit hole she went down last night on the TikTok app about this 4B movement in South Korea. 4B. See, what's going on in South Korea, according to my girlfriend, all the women in South Korea are just not engaging with dudes anymore. They're not talking to them. They're not going on dates with them. They're certainly not banging them. Nothing. They're just stonewalling these dudes. Every girl in Korea. And it's making its way to the U.S. It's becoming a real trend. So watch out, fellas, because the entire population of females in the United States, who, by the way, can't coordinate, like, between three of them what time to have fucking brunch, but apparently, you know, all of them just worked this out, are going to just all stop talking to us. Let me tell you something. You're all too conniving and backstabbing to pull this off, even if you could all fucking agree. Because you'd all start side-eyeing your friends like, wait a minute, is she going to start dating that dude that I've been eyeballing on the sly? And you'll all just hook up on the sly, which is what you all fucking do anyways.
Hence why the 4B movement has already failed in America before it even had the chance to take off. Shame how women aren't loyal to men. They can't even be loyal to other women.
And let's be honest, what's really going on in Korea is that in one city in Korea, there's a small percentage of women that are trying to do this movement. It's basically the equivalent of, like, if all the blue-haired girls in Chicago quit banging dudes. And no one's banging those girls anyways. So I'm sure what's going on in real life is in Korea, there's about 1,000 nerds that nobody's interested in, but you're just pissing up a rope with this one.
I'm going to have to disagree with the man here. In the western side of the world, I would agree, but in Korea, their birth rates are actually very, very low, at its lowest point ever. So the 4B movement there actually seems to be successful, but they're sacrificing their country's future in the process. Now, you can argue it was doomed anyway, though, to be honest.
Yeah, so this patriarchy stuff that we've kind of been going along with, it's harming us. I mean, men are treating us like crap, they're unaliving us in droves, so I think we're done. We're not going to partner with them or have their kids. Oh, wow, okay, so you're just gonna throw away your divine purpose of serving me and my kids? Well, then screw you. In fact, we're gonna leave you alone first. How about that? Okay, but do you promise? Yes, we promise we're gonna leave you alone. You know what? Have fun cleaning up your cat litter. Ladies, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but some of y'all are gonna have to settle. I mean, you have to. We have got to cut it out with all these gender wars. Hey, I'll settle. Oh my God, why are you talking? I don't understand. Anyway, some of y'all are going to have to settle. I mean,
Yeah, women don't know how men work at all, it seems. The quote-unquote pick-me girls get picked and are married and have children at a young age. They are striving. And what's with the settle talk? You get home, food, money, that's not yours to spend, by the way. How are you settling exactly?
So my friend's been telling me about this thing where they do no dating, no sex, no marriage with men, and it's called the 4B movement. I'm just like, oh, I've been participating in the 4B movement for years. Yeah, totally for social causes. Totally. No other reason at all. Yeah, if it weren't for that, I would absolutely be married by now.
See?
Yeah.
Obviously a skit, but a lot of women in the 4B movement are really like this. They are quote-unquote femcells, unable to get the men that they desire. The vast majority of this movement would just not exist if women got the men that they actually wanted, but of course, they can't.
To shave my hair all the way off too, because for the longest I used to just say, oh, I'm just celibate, I'm just not dating right now, but really nobody wanted me, nobody. And I felt bad about it. I had all the excuses in the world, but now it's just going to be so much easier to just shave all my hair off. And then, I won't have to lie to people anymore and say that I'm just celibate.
Now, this is a woman with a sense of humor, but this is the reality for a lot of women. They're not exactly being chased by men, and a lot of these women are too old to even have kids in the first place, so one of the 4Bs is already irrelevant. No having kids, lady, you literally cannot have them anyway. But anyway, guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode there. As always, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are new here. Drop a comment, and I will see you all in the next one. Make sure you take care of yourselves. Peace.